Hello and welcome to Comcast Local Edition. I'm Ron Roberson. Joining us is Allan Pressel. He's the CEO and founder of CharityFInders, an organization specializing in helping nonprofits. Allan, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Ron.
So glad to have you. And we were talking in the green room about some different things that you do. And one of the things that came up is you specializing in the internet. How do nonprofits use the internet, or how are they not using the internet?
Well, not using is more the appropriate term. There are about 1 million 501c3 nonprofits in the country today, Ron, and roughly 90% of them have no internet presence or no website at all. About 9% of them have what's called a brochure site, which is essentially an informational-only site. About 0.9% have what I personally call a brochure plus site, which is a brochure site that simply has a link to a third-party site where money is collected. That could be PayPal or any of a number of others, but that approach typically produces very poor results. There are about 0.1% of those nonprofits that have what's called an e-philanthropy site. An e-philanthropy site is both informational and transactional. And the obvious example of an e-philanthropy transaction is online donations, but there are many more.
Yeah, people tend to think that just by having your 501c3 that the money is going to start pouring in. Strategically, they need to put a site together that's going to entice the general public not only to pay, but have the means to be able to do so as well.
Exactly. What you want on your nonprofit website is not only a lot for the user to see, but more importantly, a lot for the user to do. There are really two types of things that you want your user to do in order to support your nonprofit. There are fundraising things and there are non-fundraising things. On the fundraising side, what you probably want, of course, is to enable people to donate online, but you also want people to be able to buy tickets to your fundraising and other types of events. If you offer membership dues, you want people to be able to pay and renew those online. You may want to sell things in an e-store. You may want to accept in-kind donations or planned gifts or investment donations. So there are a whole variety of fundraising transactions that you can facilitate through your nonprofit's website. On the non-fundraising side, probably the single most important is volunteer recruitment. What I think is you should have a list of the volunteer positions you have available. The prospective volunteer should be able to click on the one that they're most interested in and apply online. Similarly, if you have job openings, one should be able to apply, attach a resume, and attach a cover letter. People should be able to fill out a public opinion poll, or participate in a discussion forum, or refer your organization to their friends and family. One other non-fundraising transaction that I like is called e-advocacy. Imagine, let's say that you're an environmental organization. You can list the issues of public policy or legislation that you care about on your website. The website visitor can then click on the one that's most near and dear to their heart. It would open up a letter that they can then send to their elected representatives or to corporate CEOs. But they get to choose, click, 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 who the letter goes to. They can send the letter as is, meaning as you, the nonprofit, composed it, or they can customize it, and then they can sign it, click, and off it goes. So in summary, there should be not only a lot for the user to see on your nonprofit's website, but also a lot for the user to do.
Yeah. Now, when you start talking about websites and all the different things that you offer on the site, it strikes fear into those that are computer challenged and those type of things. How long does it take, and how difficult it is to put a website together like that?
The traditional way for nonprofits to build websites is to have somebody build the site for them, either an internal staff person, a volunteer, or a paid consultant. That approach typically takes a lot of time, enormous technical skills, and unless it's a volunteer, a lot of money. It also usually produces a brochure site and also fosters a dependence of the nonprofit on the person that built the site or somebody with similar technical skills to keep the site up to date. What I think the nonprofit should be able to do is that anyone in a nonprofit, regardless of their technical skills and with no training, should be able to build and maintain a world-class e-philanthropy website by themselves, very quickly, very inexpensively, and with no training. And the good news is there are tools that enable nonprofits to very easily build such a website.
10 seconds left. Just give us one success story in about 10 seconds.
Hermosa Beach Education Foundation at www.hbef.org was a $90,000 a year organization. In the last year or two, they've raised at least $100,000 online through a website that was built by one of their board members who had no prior technical skills.
Allan Pressel, thank you so much, sir. Glad to have you.
Pleasure to be here, Ron. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Comcast, the local edition. We'll see you next time.